You've been picking and I've been watching. Today's pick is from Helene, and we're going to be talking about Rabid Dogs from 1974. Talk about getting out of my comfort zone. I think this is the first crime slash action Italian film that I am reviewing. So wish me luck. So with a title like Rabid Dogs, I just had a guess of what I was in for. And what I imagined was pretty spot on, but what I did not imagine was that this was going to be a Mario Bava film. So that is pretty cool. As Wikipedia already mentioned, this is quite a departure from normal Bava, but I was interested to see this. So for me to be able to watch these films with no context, knowing nothing, not even looking at the poster, just knowing the title and the year and watching it, it has been a really, really special experience, and I'm grateful to go into movies this way. But I feel bad to come on here reviewing them because I know you won't get to go in the same way that I did. So it's okay. It's okay. So that being said, I'm not going to spoil the movie. As always, I won't be spoiling the end or the last half or whatever. We're just going to be talking about the general plot. So Rabid Dogs just starts off with a bang. This trio of criminals pulls up to a pharmaceutical company and freaking stabs a guy in the stomach and snatches a bag full of cash and drives away. And it prompts a large-scale manhunt. The city is just lit up with cops trying to find these guys. The chase is wild, more people get killed, and the trio of criminals ends up hijacking a car. Inside of this car is a husband, a wife, and their little boy. Editing me here, I realized I actually made a mistake. That was not a mom and a dad. That woman was unaffiliated with the dad or the child. It was all happening so fast, I must miss that. This woman is just an unrelated hostage. They were actually on their way to the hospital because the little boy is ill. But the criminals were like, nah, you're not doing that now. You're gonna drive us where we want to go. And the film is very interesting in that it feels kind of like one of those one location films. Like, let's say where people are like trapped in an elevator together or something like that. Except we're trapped in this tiny car together. Oh my God, these cars are tiny. Anyway, it kind of plays out in real time. Like, it feels continuous, that's the word. And it pretty much is. So you feel like you're on an hour-long car ride. Oh my God. Speaking of feelings, this movie is so cramped and hot and sweaty. Oh my gosh. It was like, ugh. It was a sticky movie. And speaking of sticky, we do have George Eastman in this film as one of the criminals. And he's a beautiful man, okay? And I want to like him, you know? And I think deep down I do. But the characters he keeps playing are horrible. Horrible people. So the criminals, obviously, in this movie are horrible people. Let's go ahead and take a moment for the whole cast now. This is what happens with an unstructured review. The husband who is being forced to drive the car, is played by Ricardo, Cucciola. And that's funny, his character's name is Ricardo too. Blade is played by Don Backey. Doc, who is the leader of the trio, is played by Maurice Poley, and he looks really familiar. What has he been in? Oh, $5 for August Moon. And The Murder Secret. Okay, I've seen him in a few things. He looks familiar. And then George Eastman plays 32, aka in Italian, Trenta Due. Why do I try? The mom is played by Leah Lander, or maybe it's Leia. She was in Blood and Black Lace. The mom here is, as I said in my review on Letterboxd, she is an embarrassment to all women everywhere. Oh my God. She wouldn't stop screaming and whimpering and crying and just like having these outbursts and just like flailing around. She was just like worthless. I know, I don't know how I would be acting in this situation, okay? But like, why do so many women in these movies are just like hysterical and they just scream and don't do anything? They never ever put up a fight or anything. So George Eastman, who plays 32, wait until you find out what 32 means, by the way. 32 and Blade are the like unhinged. They're the unhinged pair. Like, they are unpredictable. They're rabid dogs. They're crazy. And then their boss is referred to as Doc. And he gives like a little bit of calm and collected, but he's still unpredictable. Like, there's no reasoning with him. And what all these guys are doing is not always like motivated. Like, it doesn't always make sense. And then the driver, the dad, just tries to stay calm most of the time. And then the little boy is asleep the whole time. He's sedated because he is in need of immediate surgery. So yes, it's a very stressful situation. And the bulk of the movie is us riding in this car with all of these people, and these are tiny ass cars. And the cinematography, I think, really conveys that claustrophobic feel because there's so many extreme close-ups, because a lot of times that's the only way you can look at somebody. During this whole movie, I was tense. I was like, most of the time, or I'd just be like, and my husband was like, I love how stressed out you are about this. These guys were very dangerous and scary, so I wasn't sure how like aggressive they were going to get towards the woman. But mostly they were just taunting and tormenting her and doing the whole like humiliation thing, which is like sickening. It's sickening. Like, it was very uncomfortable. And I didn't even like this woman. But you know, we all deserve our dignity. As we proceed on this road trip, which it really felt like we were driving for hours. Yeah, a lot of the times we're just in this car, but there are some stops made and some interactions and some various activities, some variables being thrown in to their trajectory, and it does keep it interesting. But there are some times where it just felt kind of drawn out to just be in that car for so long and sort of talking in circles a lot. And I guess part of that is because these criminals are acting on instinct, like this wasn't planned. So I think they don't quite know what they're doing or what to say or what moves to make. But basically, this mom and dad are like, can't you just like let us go and take the car? And the criminals are like, nah. So it did feel pretty grim and pretty bleak with the torment and the terror and the tension that was building. And at the same time, it's just so hot and sweaty. Oh my God, this is a good summer flick. And it's funny, at the beginning of the movie, I was totally rooting for the trio. I don't know why, I just wanted them to get away with their money. But then once we got to know them, I was like, oh no, I'm not rooting for y'all anymore. Overall, I would say this is a really good movie. Now, I don't have much to compare it to. I haven't seen too many of these like crime. I mean, it was better than Contraband. Y'all are probably gonna hate me for saying that. I haven't seen too many of these like crime or poliziotteschi films to compare it to, but I think this was a great starting point because it didn't get too dark, I guess, and it stayed really engaging despite the length of the car ride. And it even kept my husband's attention, and he even read the subtitles instead of looking on his phone while I'm watching my movie. Yes, I think Rabid Dogs was a very tactile and memorable film. And yeah, it was fun. Hopefully I reviewed this okay. I'm a little out of my wheelhouse, but thank you so much to Helene for recommending this to me. It was very cool to see a non-typical Bava film. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, I did read that this was based off of a short story, so I feel like I should say that. Editing me here again. I guess this is why doing more research before recording would be great. But I also discovered that they remade Rabid Dogs like recently, like I think within the last 10 years. It looks pretty interesting. Let me know if you've seen it. If you have seen this movie, let her know down below. Let's talk. And I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be another review of me watching something that you told me to. Ciao!